Good evening, my dears. We are here. We start our translation, and traditionally, I want to ask you what about sound? Do you hear me good or no? Traditionally, I waiting for your pluses in the chat. Traditionally. More than 30 seconds after question, but I don't see pluses or first pluses. Beautiful, beautiful. Thanks. Glad to see you, my dears, on our broadcast. Name of the topic you can see that is the interview with a dictator. On a previous broadcast, you asked me what about Carlson Tucker and Putin, what I'm thinking about this. But on this moment, I don't know enough about this interview and about influence of this interview and about consequence of this interview. But I'm do some monitoring, and today we will talk about it a little later. And now we have more actual topic is the Avdiivka. I want to share my feels about this. It will not be like an inside information, showing map and something like this. I'm just a share what in my head about this situation. And Navalny. I'm see that so many media, Western media, talking about Navalny, Ukraine. It's sad he's died. He can do something for Ukraine and blah blah blah. We too will talk about this. We'll talk about this, but a little later. The first topic is the will be Avdiivka. My old school, are you on a broadcast? Glad to see you all, my dears, and all winners of our giveaway. I'm fix your address. I'm check this again, and then on Monday I will go on a post, and I will send patches for you, my dears. So different country, not only Europe. It's Europe is the island, New Zealand. Very interesting package will be. I hope that security service don't give a interest question what I sent for 40 friends. We are planning our broadcast for yesterday, but yesterday operator Starsky had broadcast, and I understand that you, my dears, as the 80% of my auditory rates to auditory of our friends of the channel, read the Ukrainian, Brandon, Mekada, operator Starsky, and it was a big mistake if we made a broadcast at the same time with operator Starsky, because I'm just I just can sit alone on my broadcast, sit in the silence. So, and I'm asked some specialists about smoking during broadcast, and they said that smoking during broadcast is a little bad and I can lose monetization, but I'm don't scared because I don't have monetization. And sponsor of my energy today is the Red Bull. I will not show can because they don't paid me. Now we wait a small moment. Some viewers, some my subscribers to connect our broadcast. Now we can talk about something. You can give me a question for a couple of minutes. I think that for start discussing in last topics, it's I need not less than 50 viewers, my dears, and traditional I will make questions since is there will be blue. I forgot this word. Oh my god. Okay, it will be blue button in the chat. Questions. You can give a question and we will talk about and I will answer on your question, and we will talk about this during broadcast. Chuck Yamarits, hello. How is Batman and weekend? So, Batman now in Poland. I'm told. I'm told about that on a previous broadcast. He now he a little busy. He preparing the new project in Ukraine. Is the Winged Hussars project, but is there will be new activity, very interesting activity, and we will announce it on the next broadcast on this channel. You more volume. More volume. I hope that if my microphone will be more close, it will be better. Yes, on this channel, not only me alone will do broadcast. Sometimes here will be Batman. Sometimes our mates from the project will join to this broadcast, and we will work with him. Yes, and now he preparing the big project. A new big activity in Ukraine, and we so soon announce it, but not yet now, not time, a little later, my dears. He is okay. What about weekend? He is good. He's still in Ukraine. He still fight. I talked with him a couple days ago with chats. But I can't meet with him because now I'm not living in Kiev. I'm live in the other city of Ukraine. So yes, but he's good. Thanks for the questions. It's beautiful that you remember my band brothers. It's the beautiful. Yeah, and thanks for Starsky. He announced my broadcast yesterday. So, my dears, I'm C53 guys on my broadcast, and we can start our general topic. Okay. What about Avdiivka, my dears? Please write in the chat. What do you know from the Western media about Avdiivka? For me, it's very interesting because opinion are different, information are different, and for me, very important to know your opinion and what do you think about this, and I will share my personal. When I start monitoring you about Avdiivka, when we discuss this operation with my friends, with my mates, with some intelligence officers, I was really angry. Avdiivka, it was my personal pain. I was really angry. But now I little changed my opinion, and I was really surprised. So yes, I'm the first Borstville. Hello. All I know is that Ukraine is pulling out of Avdiivka. Thanks for the comment. And Chuck Yammers, enjoyed your interview with the UA Radio Chicago. Thanks. Radio Chicago is the Ukrainian American project for the Ukrainian diaspora in the United States. So yes, and that's why interview was on Ukrainian language, but you can turn on subtitles. Who don't see my interview with the Radio Chicago, you can find this in our community posts. It was a post about this. Hello all guys who join, ladies and gentlemen who are joined on a broadcast and who don't heard hello from me. So yes, what about Avdiivka? Yes, you are right, my dears, who write about pulling out from Avdiivka. Ukrainian armed forces will go out from there, and in my opinion, is the very, very good decision, and I'm trying to describe why. So, as you know, now in Avdiivka, most powerful units of the Ukraine is the Third Zal Brigade, is the GUR, is the SBU, Ukrainian Special Forces. So yes, and now what they do, what his tasks, Ukrainian soldiers, Ukrainian infantry, Ukrainian armored forces will do evacuation from Avdiivka. It's the ones of the photo of the GUR. Our soldiers will do evacuation, who will leave from Avdiivka. And I'm trying to describe why it's good. You know, maybe you heard about defense position of the Ukrainian defenders of Avdiivka, Ukrainian soldiers. Is the Voz factory Kaksahim. When I watched video from the Kaksahim, I'm see how our soldiers was underground. I'm watch on environment and Kaksahim, and you know looked like looked like Azovstal. Not same situation, but a little similar. Russian forces, they have no limit. They have no limits of the humans, of the MBT, of the APC. They have no limits of the armored power, and they do offensive. Russian do offensive, and it was a very successful offensive because Russian mid-grinder style, Russian doctrinal offensive, when not less of the 5 soldier against 1 soldier in defense, it's really work. It's the sad, but it's the really work, because 5, 6, 7 against 1 soldier is the really big difference, and we must understand that against 1 brigade who come as a reinforcement in Avdiivka, on the Russian side was not less than 5 brigade, but by some information it was a 7 brigade. Just say 1 brigade and 7 brigade. And you, my dears, must understand that brigade, it's not only many people, not only big numbers of the soldiers, not only big numbers of the infantry. Is the artillery, is the armored vehicle, is the logistics, fire support, I don't know. It's not only infantry, it's not only numbers. I'm just, why I was angry. Last 2 days I'm just watch Ukrainian YouTube, and not only Ukrainian, and what I see talked head like me now is the military experts, as the media. They really talk shit about the situations. They talk about that we must defend Avdiivka, as there will be hero city, blah 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 blah. And I remember situation with the Bakhmut. Is the next one. It's a photo of our GUR operators in Avdiivka. You can see that it's so very beautiful guys. So, and I remember situation in Bakhmut when Ukraine had a very big losses, when we saw a long time defense this city. Bakhmut was totally ruined. We have so many captured Ukrainian soldiers, we had so many wounded and fallen Ukrainian soldiers. And what success? What's result? Bakhmut now under occupation. We're still fighting near Bakhmut. We tried to start assault near Bakhmut in Klishivka, but it was a very, very short success for a couple of weeks, and again Russian controlled this position, and they start offensive more close to the Chasiv Yar. General question, main question, and is my personal question. Maybe I'm not right, but for what? For what? Because after 1 year, today, 2024 years, and no one media, no one journalist don't talk about Bakhmut. No one. It was I don't know. It was just a moments courage, moments bravado when everybody talk about Bakhmut, city over here, blah 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 blah. But as a result, we have a new hottest point, we have a new hell on our territory, and what? And I was very worried about my guys who was in Avdiivka, because I understand that it will be meat grinder. It can be a meat grinder, and you must understand that third assault brigade is the most powerful, the most powerful brigade in Ukraine, and when we heard first comment of the Ukrainian High Com, that third assault brigade will fight in Avdiivka. We don't know about general plans. We thought that they will fight, they will defend, and High Com wanna make Bakhmut too. But no. Is the beautiful that we don't know what wanna do our High Com, because they make a good decision. When you ask me on a previous broadcast, what do you think about the new commanders? Is the first decision of the new commanders. He saved lives. Our guys go out from the Avdiivka, they made a new defense position, and they will fight. We don't lose battalions and we don't lose brigades. Our people survive. Our people ready to fight. But some media, they talk a lot. They talk a lot that we must defend. Is the painful for me personally? Is the painful for me as for military? And is the very good that our guys survive. So yes. Not all our soldiers go out from Avdiivka. Evacuation operations continue, and Russian offensive is continuous. Yeah, we have wounded, we have fallen, we have captured Ukrainian soldiers, but it's very difficult to avoid. It's very difficult to avoid because corridors. It's not doctrinal corridors, because doctrine don't work with Russia. It's the handmade corridors with the third assault brigade and with the good operators. They support our guys during retreat. Yes, and I hope that we will have a minimum fallen, captured and wounded soldiers, and I hope all will be okay. So yes, and now when I check the news that High Com make decision that our guys will leave from Avdiivka, I was happy. I was really happy, because I know feeling when you surrounded. I know this feeling. I was in this fucking round, surrounded by Russians, and you every day you think that it's your last day, and you have no hope. And yes, and I'm very happy that our guys avoid this feeling, and our guys will continue fight. Chuck Yammer is right that Bakhmut is not forgotten, UNG, we don't forget. Yes, we don't forget. I don't forget because I'm lost so many my band brothers in Bakhmut. But I'm talking about general opinion. I'm talking about society opinion. Because, for example, same case is the Mariupol. In the Mariupol, we had war prisoners and his families. They remember. They talk a lot. They try to help his family. They try to help his family. But with the Bakhmut, not same situation. We had so many losses, and we don't talk about this. And we don't do this. There was just a moment, a heroic moment. And it's okay, but my thing is that we don't need Bakhmut too. It's what I wanna say it for you. We don't need a new heroic city. We don't need a new city of heroes and blah 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 blah. We need our soldiers. We need save lives and we need do more effective defend. And when you go out, when you retreat, when you regroup, is okay. Because now I'm starting to understand why Russian leave from the Kiev, why Russian leave from Kherson. They at this moment they just try to save his regular brigades. But in a Bakhmut they lose 50,000 prisoners. Is the shit of the Russia, and no one, no sorry about his, only his family of these prisoners and martyrs. So yeah, it was my opinion, and it was my personal pain. But it's the good that we have situation that our soldier will live from the Avdiivka. It's the good. We avoid our losses. We avoid this because it's the war. I'm angry because it's the general media tale that stupid Russian, they leave, blah blah blah, Ukrainian destroyed his, blah blah blah, like on a hunting. No, it's the regular army, it's the dangerous army. We must understand this, we must understand what our enemy will do, and they do and sorry, I lose my thing. And he do very successful offensive, and we understand this, and I'm very happy that our high com too understand this. And by this operation we can make a first opinion about new general in the armed forces of Ukraine. Borzast will media can be like that sensationalist takes for clicks. Yes, is that just a clickbait? Is that just a clickbait? But my dears, real life is the more said than fucking articles and the media, all media, you know. When I go on vacation, it's maybe will be in a May or April. I wanna invite my good friends. He served in Kharkiv, in Spartan Offensive Brigade, and he took part during offensive operation of the Zaporozhye. He fought off Rabotina. He was very surprised, and I wanna call him for the interview. I wanna call him, and I wanna that he must share. He must share for you his feels, and I understand that is the not typical, like a blah blah blah, we're heroes and something like this. I wanna show a real opinion about this. Not that every is bad. No, no, no. I wanna speech about professionals and Miss Army because we must understand this. And yeah, we're done with Avdiivka. Thanks for attention, my dear. Uh, about last news. I show you photo and you must answer me, my dears, who's this? You know these guys or no? And we will talk about this. Ooh, I'm nervous when I'm talking about Avdiivka. Oh, I want smoke more and more. And I don't care about my monetization, my dears, because I don't have monetization. If you want to support our project, you have links on a Buy Me a Coffee and on a PayPal under my face on your screen or in a description of this broadcast. СМВ. До побачення. Sam, your Ukrainian language better and better with every broadcasts. I think after a couple months you will be like a Ukrainian native speaker. Yes, this Navalny. I'm on this. Thanks that you know who this guy is, and I know that Western media talk a lot about him. They talk a lot about him. They very sorry. They say that that was the once of the last hope of the Russia. Blah 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 blah. Some Ukrainians to talk about this. But I will talk small story. Be ready to tell. Worst will. I don't understand the West's obsession with Navalny. He was almost just as bad as Putin. He thought Crimea was Russia. Very good comment, Will. Thanks for your opinion. And yes, is the right things. I'm sorry. Is the right things. Hello, a new viewer who are coming on a broadcast. Glad to see you here. And yes, what about Navalny? I will talk like Ukrainian, you know. Navalny, opposition blogger, opposition politician, political prisoners of Putin, hope of the Russian opposition. Some media talk that is the last hope of Russia. It's funny, you know, because when we talk about changing government in Russia, we must understand that not only Putin monster, Russian Duma, they are a monster. Russian politicians, they are a monster. And he thinks about Ukraine, he thinks about Georgia, about Lithuania, Latvia, Finland, other neighbor country. It's the not only Putin opinion, and you must understand this. Navalny, he was a founder of the anti-corruption organization in Russia. He do investigation about corruption and blah blah blah. Is the useful activity because corruption is really bad in every country. but is the main narrative corruption. Me personally, like Ukrainian, for me don't interesting about corruption in Russia. For me don't interesting how we last build Putin, how many money they steal from the Russian budget. It's don't interesting for me. For me, interesting that Russia is the country of aggressor. They occupy some territory in Ukraine, in Georgia, and other country. They do genocide in my country, in the Republic Ichkeria. And yes, and I'm see comment from the Iris. Exactly, anti-Putin does not equal pro-democracy. It's the fake democracy. Navalny had a fake democracy, or he try show democracy, because Russian carry but only Russia. When he told about Ukraine, about Crimea, he told that Crimea is the not sandwich. We can't back its. We can't just back it for Ukraine. When was operation in Debaltseva, when our guys was surrounded, he told that he used some words. Хохлы is the bad words for Ukrainian. I hate these words, хохлы. But in his Twitter he write that хохлы is surrounded. It's don't do separatist. He mean that it's the Russian army. And about Donbas question, he don't worried that Donbas are under occupation of the Russia. He don't worried about this. He worried that Russian government give a lot of money for him, as there was a main narrative. He don't care about Ukraine and about other country. It's only his interior activity. Yes, he's opposition. He is the enemy of Putin, but it's not same situation when the enemy of your enemy, your friend, is the not same situation. He died. Yes, Putin again show how work his government and how work his system. We know about this. Is the not surprise? Is the not something new for us? I'm don't surprise it. And about his opposition, about his political position, they made some protests. But what about this protest? What it was? When just a crowd staying in some square and said something, no corruption, no Putin, blah 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 blah. It's too not interesting for Ukraine, only real opposition against Putin, against his government, against his politician, is the Russian Volunteers Corps, yes, or Legion Freedom of Russia, because they really do something against this government, against occupant. They fight now in Ukraine. In future, they will fight on Russia territory, and it's a really working opposition for Putin. But what opinion about Legion Freedom of Russia? What opinion have Navalny? He said, no, we don't with his, we don't with the units who fight for Ukraine. No, it's not interesting for us. They had very big donations. They are millionaires, they are billionaires. So many Russians give money for this investigation, and no one rubles his organization don't give for the Russian soldiers who fight for the freedom of Russia, who fight in Ukraine. No one rubles. And they said, no, 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 it's not we, it's not interesting for us, we only fight against corruption, we don't will fight against dictators, no, no, only corruption interesting for us. You know, he just tried to show, democracy, but he's same shit like a Putin, same shit, no better, in my opinion. Maybe some Russian oppositioners will say to me, Pasha, they showed me this time, but no, he's same shit, it's useless. And why Western media so worried about him? I'm too a little understand, and I'm just wait answer from you. I'm right or don't right? Navalny is the good example. Navalny is the good example that somebody fight against, no, not fight, somebody just against Russian government. And it was interesting for the other country, like for Ukraine too, but they don't understand the general situation about about his organization and how it works. Yeah, he took Oscar, he was poisoned, is the like a symbol of hero who fight against government, but he don't fight against government. He just tried to show that he against government. You must understand this. So, and that's why I don't care about Navalny. He's like, okay, this is just an example of the system of work Russian government. Nothing new, nothing new. But Western politician and the Western media make a symbol of Russian opposition, and I understand why, because they don't have other variants. They don't have other variants. Isda was most soft. He told that he is a liberal, that he is a democratic, and blah blah blah. And it was a soft example. And that's all. No more. If reputation of the some media, if they will talk about all Russian politicians prisoners, his reputation don't increase, and they can lose a reputation, because countries who was a part of the Soviet Union, neighbor country of the Russia, they really understand how work Russian opposition. They understand it. So yes, and my dears, just write me in the chat. I'm right or no? What do you think about this situation? Because for me, I'm share my opinion, and it's the last opinion. For Ukraine, he was the useless. It is just a typical Russian politician who wanna took money from the Russian people and from the West, because West support his. Bam. Safades, hello. Safades comment. Not surprised, wasn't Wagner there too? Same situation with Prigozhin. My dears, you are already crying for Prigozhin, that Putin killed Prigozhin. Same situation. Prigozhin don't need for Putin, and Putin kill him. And Prigozhin was same shit like Putin, and he died. Is the result for all Russian big political figures. And Navalny too, same shit. In general media, not so many talk about this, but we must understand Same situation with the Girkin, with the Strelkov. Maybe you know this guy who start operation for the Donbas occupation. He do really good operation. He occupied half of the Donbas territory, and what with him? He in a jail now. Yeah, Prigozhin. Sometimes me too miss for Prigozhin because he was a generator of the funny memes. Memes was the very good, very very funny. Um, Gerasimov. Yeah, he alive for this moment, but it's only for this moment. We don't know what will be with the Gerasimov after 5 months. Yes, maybe he too will be in a jail because they failed some operations. We don't know this, my dears. And I will check a questions blog. Very good questions today. I will try answer on every questions because we have one more blog. We will talk about this super historic course from the Putin. And yes, now I will answer on your question. How is this recruiting effort coming? Recruiting effort. Recruiting is the not good word for situation what we have now. We don't need a recruiting now. We need a mobilization. We need mobilization. Sorry, we don't. My mistake. We need a mobilization. We need a mobilization, and the mobilization effort, in my opinion, is the best because I'm as a ex-infantry officer. I understand how important soldier for army. Soldier is the base of army, and mobilization effort is bad. And I don't know who are bad guy in this situation because government don't agree new laws about mobilization because Ukrainian society read stupid Russian channels and eat stupid Russian informational operations about Midgrinder on the front line and blah blah blah. But mobilization now is bad, is really bad. Mobilization don't show good result. I don't know, maybe is the military secret, but now I'm living in city in center of Ukraine. Is the more close to the front line. If I don't mistake, to the Zaporizhia front line, just 3 or 4 hours by car, And in this city, I see a lot of young men like me, more adult, who avoid mobilization. So many people try to avoid, and I think that main reason of what's going on is the bad informational policy. Main reason, because we don't talk what you will do if you go in the army. They don't understand what they will do. They don't understand how they do, and they see just they think that if he will mobilize it, he the next day will go on a front line like in Russia and die. It's the mistake. Is the wrong, but society don't understand this, and we have some problems with the mobilization. Thanks for the questions. Benedict, How is your Valentine? Ha! Not good, you know. Now I have a and I'm trying to describe why not good. Now I'm on a more higher position than in a previous brigade, and now I have biggest responsible responsible for the personnel, and you know, every weekend I will ready for some shit. And yes, I was on a service on a Valentine, and yesterday was on a service because it's the I'm very happy that I'm not start my broadcast yesterday because at 23 o'clock my chief called me and he said that I must come in a unit because some shit happened. It's every weekends, every weekends I'm thinking that something can happen. That's why my Valentine was shit. You put 2004. Hello, Pasha. Many important questions are in my mind, but first I would like to know what Ukrainians really think of Alexei Navalny. Thank you for the stream and Slava Ukraini. Thanks for the questions you put 2004. I'm answering your question 10 minutes ago. And yes, but it's my opinion, and I know the biggest part of Ukrainian who a little bit understand something in policy, he support my opinion. And it's not only my opinion. Ellie, hello Ellie. How angry are Ukrainians and Trump and his MAGA cult in the United States House of the Representatives? Is the difficult questions, you know, because I'm like Ukrainian. I don't think about Trump. You know, is the like a question? Do you know? As there was memes in Facebook. How often your man think about Roman Empire? Same situation. How often you think about Trump? I'm just check news. I'm just check media, and I'm see that sometimes Trump talk shit, sometimes Trump do shit, but I can't make opinion because I don't feel influence on my country at this moment. No, I feel this influence. I feel, and I think that in the future we too will feel it. But at this moment, because he is not a higher position, he don't have a high political position, is that just words, blah 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 blah, and no more. I will save questions for you, my dears Americans people. What do you think about this? Because peace formula of the Trump and his recommendation how we can fight is the shit in my opinion. Next, thanks for the questions, Ellie. Yun G, do you know Kazakh Siramaha songs? Exactly, I know Kazakh Siramaha songs. Is the very who don't know who is Kazakh Siramaha, my dear Yun G, send the link of the Kazakh Siramaha channel in the chat. I think that all 40 must meet with this singer. Is the very good singer. He use Ukrainian traditional folk styles and modern instruments and modern style of music. Is the very good. I'm don't listening Kazakh Siramaha every day, but I'm like this. Chuck Yamoyer, sorry, Yamayerts. Question from the chat. What is Ukraine doing with foreign or volunteers tricked into fighting in Ukraine? Tricked into fighting in Ukraine? Tricked into fighting? They are mercenaries, my dears. They are mercenaries, and you can see that some volunteers from the poor country, they go in the Russia, make a contract and fight in Ukraine for the money. Tricked. What we do with him is if he war prisoners. He sit like a war prisoners and waiting for exchange. 100% we warn his government that, for example, Somalian, Serbian, Kazakh or Armenian man now sit in the Ukrainian jail because he are Russian mercenaries. We warn his government and we waiting for exchange, and we do laws procedures with him same like with the Russian. We have no difference with the Russians. Same procedures, not new, my dears. The funny question: foreign orcs tricked into fighting. Now they're just mercenaries, and no more. AMG, what? International fighters? Yes. Yes. I don't know why your message was deleted. Yes, they are international fighters. It's the volunteers, mercenaries from any country, and Ukrainian to fight for Russia, Serbia likes Russian policy, not like a country, but so many people think that Russian is the brothers of the Serbia because they are Orthodox. Bad reason at first, and second because sometimes Russia penetrates in Serbian history. And and the 20th century so often, and in 9th century too so often they do this. Spanish communists, Italian communists, and Spanish fascists, they too join in a Russian army because Putin policy is the very good songs for him. But from every country we can fight volunteers who fight for Russia and fight for Ukraine same, because every people have different opinions. AKA Croat. Do you still talk to your teammates from your old unit? From my old unit, you mean from my previous unit? Yes, I will not stop talks with them because I was in a war with them, I fight with them, I don't lose a contact, it's my brothers. Yeah, exactly, I will talk with them, exactly we will have contact. And 1 hour ago I talked by phone with one of the officers from my previous brigade, and it's okay, no. Yes. Chuck Yamarets, I have seen Chinese on social media volunteering for orcs. Have you guys encountered this or just regular army orcs? Encountered, what is the word? I will use the translator. Yes, thanks for the question, Chuck. Chinese government tried to avoid questions about support Russia, but we must understand that China is the neighbor country of Russia, and so many Chinese civilians, they support Russia. Same situation when Chinese support Ukraine, because I'm talking about it 3 minutes ago that every people have every opinion, and when we talk about far from Ukraine country, we have a bad influence on this country, and sometimes they don't understand situation in the general. Hello Tinky, Finlandia. And yes, and they don't understand situation in general, and of course they will support Russia. And the same situation with the Chinese volunteers who support Ukraine. I think it's the is the not surprise for me personal. Sam V, please spell it dictator. Dictator. Spell again dictator. By Ukrainian it will be dictator. Not dictator. Thanks for the question, Sam V. Kim C. If you had the artillery shells promised and F-16, would things have been different in Avdiivka? Maybe. I'm understand the base of these questions, because President Zelensky had told about this on some of conference that foreign support have a very big influence on Ukrainian operation yet, and he told that a situation in Avdiivka depends from the foreign support, but for this moment we can't change something, because situation of Avdiivka is the very difficult situation, because big Russian army power on this territory, and I think that couple F-16 don't radically change situation in Avdiivka, Maybe on the other part of fronts, yes. Maybe if 3 weeks ago we use F-16 on a Zaporizhia direct, for example, they don't use big numbers of brigade on Avdiivka, because they concentrated on the Zaporizhia, for example. But I don't make a fantasy about this, and I don't know, I think that F-16 don't give a big influence on Avdiivka direct yet. And the last questions from Tismi. Are foreign fighters still joining Ukrainian army, Pasha? Thanks for the question, Tismi. International Legion still work. Recruiting in International Legion still work. What is mean? Is mean that yes, it's mean that international volunteers still join to the International Legion, and they fight. Very good questions today. Thanks, my dears. I don't skip no one of questions. Or skip. Two new questions, but a little later I will answer. We have block number 3. Block number 3. Do you know who this guy is? Write in the chat who this guy. Do you know him or no? I think he's the very popular man. Yeah, I'm right, or no? If you know this guy, write plus in a chat. Sorry, my microphone. Tanker Carlison. Chuck Yammers. Yes, is that Tucker in Russia in the supermarket in Moscow. When Tucker came in Russia, he called a very big attention from the Russian media, as that looks like a Soviet Union, because when in the Soviet Union come some foreign journalists, some foreign politicians, they too was the very happy. They invite me, They invite media. Media told that in Soviet Union come French journalist or something like this, because they was in isolation. And it was a very big surprise for him. And same situation now with the Russia. Tucker Carlson go in a supermarket, media follow him, shut him, and articles. Tucker Carlson buy products in Russia, and he said that products in Moscow more cheaper than in United States. Super article, very informative. And yes, Tucker Carlson. On a previous broadcast, you asked me about this interview. I'm give a short opinion, but I have not enough information about this interview. And as a result of analysis of this interview, of analysis media reaction, I can give a rate for this interview. I can give a marks. Drum. This interview is shit, but it's not so easy. For me, as for Ukrainian, I'm listening 2 hours of shit. He told that is the short historical course. But why this shit so dangerous? Because I understand that really he don't give us some informations, yes, but during this interview, Putin share for whole world Russian narratives, and Putin not so often we can see Putin on the international media like a hero of interview. Yes, there was only Putin's interview, only Putin 2 hours. And for foreign people from any country, it was very interesting for Putin, because he very, I will translate this word, sorry. Wait a moment. Because Putin very secret person, and for some Americans, for some Brits, it was very interesting to see this interview, and it was very important for him. But it was the bad idea for the media policy in general, and it was the bad idea for Tucker Carlson. If I don't mistake, He support and he respect conspirology shit in United States. Sorry. He is a right shit. He talk shit in his social media, and he have not a reputation like a very authority journalists. Yeah, but now he's broke. He totally broke his reputation because I'm C1 Andy Woohoo Kuckold Carlson is the good word, yeah, because under his interview he sit like a cuckold. He don't give a question what's a really interesting. He don't give a question about real motives of the war in Ukraine. He don't give a question about Putin policy. He don't give a question about economy. He don't give a question about losses, about perspective of war. He don't give a question why fucking 70% of Russia don't have warm system and toilets in his city. Yeah, he give a question, only questions what was good for the Putin, only for Putin. And during interview, Putin said, I make a short historically course. He said it will be 30 seconds or 2 minutes, I don't remember. 2 minutes historical course. And you know, when I'm listening this historical course, it was started from the Rurikovichi dynasty. It's right, dynasty. Yes. Wait. Dynasty. It's course starting from the Rurikovichi dynasty from the Kievska Rus, and it's the very funny for listening because he said that Russia, like a country, was formed in 7th or 8th century, but is the main mistake now because Russia all time trying to steal Ukrainian history. They try to steal history of the Kievska Rus. They try to steal our more latest history, and Isda was a really shit. I think that before interview he used a very strong drugs, and so big portion of the strong drugs, and told this shit. And what's interesting, he showed for him mails from the Bogdan Khmelnytsky to the Tsar or something like this, historical fakes and historical shit. And most interesting that he said that we have no country like Ukraine before 20th century. They said that Ukraine is the only Austrian and Germany's project or something like this, you know, is the narratives, is the very old shit, is the very old narratives born in Soviet Union by communists because communists try to destroy nation identification of all nation what lived in the Soviet Union, and Ukrainians too. They try to destroy national identification, and good type of the destroying this is the talk for people that his country doesn't exist is the very good variance. And yes, I will not talk about this history course, shit history course, because it's too long and too funny. But why it is dangerous? Because Western auditory, Western people now have access to the Russian narratives, to the Russian drug dealers' history. And yes, because before this interview, these narratives was a little hidden. Only underground Russian media in some country try to show this for the Western auditory, but before this interview, very big interview, these narratives wasn't work so effective like yet, like this moment. And yes, why it's dangerous? Election so soon in United States. Some Americans, for example, don't like Joe Biden, for example. Yes, they like populist theory, some fucking conspirology theory. Some people, for example, like Trump. Some people like Biden, and but they have some local problems in his state, for example. Yes, and every understand that if your country give money or give support for Ukraine, you use money of the Americans. Yes, and when, for example, man from the village from the United States, and he poor, he don't work, he sit, drink beer. He see this interview with the Tucker Carlson and Putin. He listening this shit. As result, he make opinion that guilty of every his problem is the Ukraine, because government give money for Ukraine. Is that just a small example? No, he poor not because he doesn't have a job. Yes, he poor not because he alcoholic or he use drugs. No, because government support Ukraine or other country. Yes, and it's a sad, but we have so many people in the whole world. African will talk, fucking Ukraine. America can give money for my African village, but they give it for Ukraine. Putin are right. We must destroy Ukraine. And other shit like this. I hope you understand what I mean. And yes, very big numbers of people in the world have access to the Russian narratives in very open form, in very clean form. And these narratives get not stupid propagandists from the Russia Today, for example. These narratives give the president of country. Not every country think that Putin is dictator. Not every people think that Putin is dictator, because they know nothing about Russian policy. They know nothing about Russian life. How live in Russian small towns, how live in Russian East, how live in Russian small nation, Siberian nation. They see just a very good picture in the internet and in the media from the Moscow. They see interview with the Putin when he told that Ukraine guilty because economies of the European country is bad because they give money for Ukraine and blah 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 blah. And is the really influence on opinion of the some people, and it's the really work. And is the set in the dangerous for the Ukraine, because if people will not like support to Ukraine, if people will start hate to Ukraine because country like Ukraine never existed, that means that Ukraine will be alone. Yeah, we understand that the smart people don't trust to this shit. We understand this. We know this. But we have risks. Yes, and it's one of the reason why it's so too dangerous. And is the authority American media. It's not stupid Russian propagandist. It's the very popular United States journalist. You know, this is why this why it's dangerous. Yeah, my dears, I hope that this broadcast was a little informative for you. Today we talk more about some case, not about news. You are coming not on a news channel, my dears. Yes, I hope it was interesting for you, and we continue answering your questions. Thanks for your comments on the previous broadcast. I don't understand that Tucker Carlson, he have not a very big authority between Americans, for example. Yeah, because he do shit and talk shit. But yes, thanks for you. I understand that on a smart people, he have no influence. And it's very good and sounds good. But we will talk about this, about the result of this interview, not yet, but after a couple months, after some time, when some changes will do. Okay, I will come to the questions, and I think so we will finish. Question from aka Croat 74 about the weapon. Would the Makarov been well known for a shitty weapon? Is it getting phased out for never handguns made abroad or in Ukraine? So yes, Makarov pistol is the shit weapons, is my opinion, and so many operators and officers will agree with me why is the shit weapon. Oh, by Ukrainian language is more simple for me to describe why it's the shit pistol, because it's the simple pistol, it's the easy to maintain pistol, but is the not fucking accuracy, is the not centered people stupid sight on this pistol, is the unreal shooting in a target. If you wanna, for example, police used before Makarov pistol and something like this, and when you move in, you must fight this fucking muzzle in this side and shoot, and you have a chance only 15% that you hit in the leg of the of the target or something like this. Yeah, Makarov is the shit, is the Soviet shit, and but for this time was a very cheap shit, and like an army pistol is the good, because good safety system, very difficult to make a random shoot. Yeah, it's a good idea, but for this moment when we have a very big variants of Israeli pistols, Italy, Americans, British, Czech pistols, German pistols, we have no choice, we must change the system. Yes, and new Ukrainian pistols is the Ford, is named Ford, is the factory in Vinnytsia. they made a new Ukrainian pistols, but they not make something new, like they buy a license in other country and made Ukrainian pistols by the license. For example, they buy a license in Israel and made Ukrainian tower. Tower, tower. I'm right. Tower. Yeah, TAR-21 tower, and they made the Ukrainian variant is the 4221, for example. Yes, they buy a license in the country and make this. And they don't make mistake like a Makarov pistols. Is the really better, and is the not problem, because I think that in a close 15 20 years we change pistol in the army, because now it's not have sense. Pistol it's not is not a type of weapon what we active use on a war. When I was on the combat zone, I'm all time worried about my pistols. I'm worried about not lose my pistols because it's too easy. But yeah, it's not effective yet. It's more about policy, police function, something like this. Iris, have to GLSBD. What is GLSDBS arrived? What is it, GLDBS? Maybe I will Google what is GLDBS. Cluster bombs. No, it's not cluster bombs. Yeah, Jill's DB, they in the front line were using this. Yeah, they come in, but I do not have a case for using of this yet. Maybe it's a small secret on what's direct of the front line we use this. But yes, GLDBS now in Ukraine. Yes, and we use this. When we will have result, I will show it for you on our channel. So yes. I'm sorry, I'm just don't understand this acronym. Yeah, glide bombs. Thanks. Suffer death. Question: Pasha, did the new gun restriction law pass? New gun restriction. If I don't mistake, it was a project, because new gun restriction law a little looks like shit. So many limitation, and weapon owners they don't like new law. On the first phase of accepted this law, government agreed this, but I hope that community opinion, society opinion will influence on it, and they changed some points in this law. Yeah, it still looks like shit, but no, it's, if I'm not mistaken, it's not passed at this moment, but it's the shit law. Because, for example, me, in a close time, I wanna buy a shotgun, for example. Yeah, it's for my safety and it's for my training. And so many limitations for my stupid shotgun. But yeah, I hope it's the will not pass. A few months ago, there was protest in Dnipro because government wasn't not allowing money to meal needs. Can you explain? Yes, I can explain. Is not only in Dnipro. It's going on not only in Dnipro, because I forgot how it name. in Ukraine, we have a decentralized government in the region. What does it mean? Every cities, every region have a own budget. And for the last year, 2023, this budget more using for communication, fucking squares, infrastructure or something like this, and sometimes government buy shit and work with money with like a shit, but people but people protests for changing budget plane, and local governments must give more money for the army. Yes, and I'm agree with the social opinions, because in a in a Zaporizhia, yes, they don't need a repair and reconstruction center of culture. They need buy a new FPV drones. They need buy a new combat vehicles for the army, because it's the more important, because war not end. But some government don't understand this. Yes, they give money for army, they give money for the brigades sometimes, but they can give more. Sometimes they just waste money, and we understand this. UPU 2004. Hi Pasha, I always wanted to ask, which area is the first to secede when Russia breaks in parts? It's a very difficult question. We must understand that Russia is the very big country, and Russia have so many regions, and biggest part of the regions have not European populations. I mean, Mongoloids, European, Negroids. No, I mean about race and about nations. Biggest part is the Asian. So many small low population like a Chuvashi and other population in Siberia, East population like, I don't know, Caucasians, yes, and they have so many troubles with the government, because Russia is the centralized government, and all money from the region concentrated in Moscow. And I think that we will not have a first parts. When this government will broke, I think that we have so many small nations who ready to make a new country on his territory, and it's not small territory, and it will not be a country size like a oblast, like a region. It will be big countries, and I can't answer on this question, because every region have some problems with the centralized government. With the centralized government in Russia, and it's a very difficult question. Yeah, we can make fantasy that at first it will be Ichkeria Republic, after this Ossetia, for example, Siberian republics or something like this, but it's very difficult, because centralized Moscow government have a big problems with the small nations, and this the small nation, they still continue by his traditional types of life, and they are ready for life independent from the central government in Moscow. This was the last question in the questions. See before question about my favorite weapon is the PKM, is the Kalashnikov machine gun. Not the RPK, is the PKM. super accuracy and super good weapon, because I was a machine gunner and I know how this shit work and how it's dangerous for the enemy. Yes, so my dears, thanks for your activity. Today we had not less than 16 active viewers who on our broadcast. Thanks for the active inner chat. I hope this broadcast was informative for you, was interesting for you. Big thanks for me. Thanks that you with us. Thanks that you support us. Don't forget that you can support our project and our channel by links under my face is the PayPal and Buy Me a Coffee, and in the links in description of the broadcast, because you know that our project is the not government organization and we have not finance from some country. We survive, we alive only thanks for you, my dears. Thanks for your attention. Happy to see you on my broadcast. Next broadcast I will announce. Thanks, my dear. Push the like button, subscribe on our channel, so soon will be more interesting who don't subscribe, who don't subscribe on our channel. See ya later, my dears. Thanks for attention. Don't leave from broadcast, my dears. I forgot to announce you something interesting. You heard what you everybody know who is the Brandon, is the our friend. Everybody know who is the Brandon, and now Brandon in the Great Britain in the United Kingdoms, and now he do very important for the Ukraine and for society event. Now he with the combat medics for Ukraine come in the United Kingdoms for show all shit from the war. He give opportunity for the people from the Great Britain and for the European who now in Britain. He make a United Kingdoms tour. If you don't know about this tour, just come on the Brandon channel, or who don't know who's the Brandon, check his. I will give a link. Ukraine TBAC, one moment. My dear Brits, you can join to this tour, you can support this tour, I hope. I know that Brandon will be happy saying thanks, hello from the Winged Hussars project. If you personally met with the Brandon, my dears, all updates and all new information about this tour you can see on his channel, and I agree with him, and maybe I share plans of Brandon tour on our community post, my dears, and our Instagram. Thanks for attention, thanks for you with us. link on a Brandon's channel on a brand, and but Brandon's tour will be in the fixed attached comments in the broadcast. Thanks for attention. Thanks that you wait some time after broadcasts. Thanks, I appreciate this. See you later, my dears. See you later. Slava Ukraini.